welcome everybody. It's fantastic to see so many join this webinar from Sharefox. My name is Fred Chile. I'm a CCO, commercial responsible and co-founder of Sharefox. Been here since the early days. Great to see a lot of customers attending this webinar, partners, collaborators, and also companies evaluating the Sharefox software. When we highlight this topic on AI and how do you be found in searches and so on, it's also natural to highlight a bit, okay, how do we work with AI in Sharefox in general? And we've seen that it's been a fantastic development the past 2 years. So we see that AI has implication on all our areas. One thing is in marketing, which is the main topic today. We try to use the same tools and techniques that we now present today. Early days, going from working a lot with content marketing and how do we found in Google to, okay, how do we reproduce and adapt a lot of the content that we made specific for Google also into be found in AI searches. So we work with this a lot, and some of you might have gotten a request of making reviews because we see AI engines are a lot of using sources in reviews. So Capterra, for example, is one important source for us. So that's one point, how we work with it in Sharefox in marketing. And of course, then we use it a lot in our coding. When we develop new features, modules in Sharefox, we see a fantastic pace in these days. Our designer that earlier used to make design and then present and discuss with the team and then did some coding, could partially do a lot of her all on herself in coding. So it has huge impact in the pace of making new features and modules and integrations. Then also another topic is when you are in contact with Sharefox, you might need help in your rental operation, you need some support. We use that a lot. You could in terms of chatbot, but also in terms of how we operate internally, also both in support and onboarding. And then also another important area is, of course, when you as a customer of Sharefox using the Sharefox software, there could be features and things that you earlier had to do manually that you could do with some smart AI features that facilitates it and make it faster. I think we presented a bit here. One example is just a calendar configurator, not being able to review the whole year and when should it be accessible and open and not. You could actually do that with a smart AI configurator. And such small incremental tools we work constantly to add to the Sharefox software, so it's more efficient for you to operate your rental business. And then to the right here, it says R&D on AI feature in progress. And we have also a bigger project in Sharefox, and I'll be careful now. If not, I will get yelled at from my colleagues in product. But we work on a quite substantial AI feature that we will release. I will say stay tuned and we'll see you. We already have a pilot running. So by showing this, I hope I could make a glance on how we work with Sharefox in different area, AI in different area of Sharefox. All from marketing, how do we do coding, how do you handle support, how we add AI features within the software, and also see if we could pure AI modules. With that as a backdrop, I think I will introduce my colleagues, and I think we will start with you, Sonya, because Michal will present first, so you don't only get presented by the end of the meeting. A few words about yourself and what you will present today.
Thank you, Fred. Yeah, so I head up sales at Sharefox, and I work a lot with customers. A lot of you probably know me, and I also help our new customers and work a lot with how they can implement the best strategies for the rental business, use Sharefox, and I use a lot of AI in my own business, and I've been helping a lot of our customers be more successful with AI. So I will focus more on the actual hands-on things you can do in Sharefox now with AI.
Thank you. Great. And I think that's the title also for this session, that we try, at least that it is our intention to be practical and specific.
So I'm Michal, and I'm located in Warsaw, Poland, and I'm growth and marketing consultant. I'm also closely cooperate with Sharefox, helping not only Sharefox to be visible within SEO, organic search results, but also LLMs and also AI search results, if we can say that way. And based on that, the reason of the presentation is to help you understand what are the main differences between the SEO and also AI search results, but also how you can do some or implement some tactics to help your business to grow in that directory. If you can also find me on my LinkedIn. Please also check my website, and do not hesitate to ask the question after the presentation and also after the meeting. So without further ado, let me start the main topic of our meetings today. So we will talk more about how we can help your rental business to get recommended by AI search. The reason was the reason of that meeting is that search results within Google dropped significantly last year, and just in December it was 5.5 billion visits in ChatGPT instead of Google. So Google dropped 7%. So this is the significant role, and also the huge change on the market when it comes to the marketing and also the business. Okay, the question is, okay, Michal, what does the SEO means versus the AI search? So as you see in here, when you Google something right now, the first results you see is the AI search, which is the AI overview. And this is just the one engine of AI that's presented by Google. And then at the bottom, you got the SER piece, the place where you see people also ask, plus the organic search results. Those elements are related and correlated with SEO, and those elements are correlated with AI overview, or presented by Google as a summary. Usually the AI search is presented based on the keywords that you are looking for and based on the competition on the market. So the higher competition on the market and the keyword that's more informative. So the informative example, the good one, is the what is SEO. So the summary of all the information pages is done by AI overview. So you don't even want to click the pages, you just read the summary and you got the answer straight away. So the goal of that is to give as quick answer as possible to the user in just one session. Okay, we got the AI overview, but I said also about the ChatGPT. So the group of AI on the market, it is called LLMs. These are correlated with the language model. So this is the LLM shortcut is a large language model, which means that we are basically working on the text and we are providing the answers to the users based on the text that LLM learned from its sources. The sources can be really various. It can be YouTube transcriptions, it can be a blog post, it can be a service, it can be Google Maps as well, books, videos, and so on and so forth. So also forums. And we got different kind of groups of LLMs with giving the different results. We got OpenAI, which is the ChatGPT. We got Gemini by Google. We got DeepSeek, the Chinese version of AI. We got Grok, provided by X. Perplexity, Claude are standalone versions, and so on and so forth. So the smaller ones are not so popular, but the bottom ones are very popular nowadays. So our goal is to get to the results of their and get their attention to provide the resources that we prepared for them. Why it's so important? Because Recently, Google started the project that Google will provide all the elements from the search to the shopping, everything done by the Google platform. And it is happening right now that all switch is done by Google, and Google is creating the marketplace where with just one click you can order anything. So before it had an impact on just the search and or AI overviews, and right now the trend is moving toward the e-commerce and then to other businesses. So that's why it's so important. Here is the results before and after. So on the left side you see that you've seen if someone wanted to buy electric guitar, then it is shown the Google Maps. We got the business profiles with reputation, which is the reviews. We got the information about openings, etc. On the right side, there is this AI mode switch where you got straight away answers to what users need. And in the future, you will see buy now button. So within one click, you will be able to buy something to like boost the consumption, boost the ads, boost the profitability for Google. Okay, but what does this mean to your business that Google opened the AI overviews, we got ChatGPT and so on and so forth. So I will start with data. This is the Google Search Console results of one of the websites from Poland, where it's clearly seen that they were very, very stable when it comes to the impressions, which is the purple line, and blue line, the clicks. What does this mean? So the impressions are the results of Google. When you type in something in Google, the Google provide your website as an example of the topic. But if you are on the top in Google, that it converted to the clicks. So from the impressions, people were converting to clicks. So it was very correlated. When you were producing the content, the impressions were increasing, and then in time your website had a strong reputation, then the clicks were gone up. But in March 26, where AI overview were officially launched in Poland, it turns out that those clicks are not valid anymore towards the impressions. Why? Because you got the overview of the topic on the top, so users didn't want to click your website, they just wanted to have an answer straight away. So as you see, that day it was an impact, but it stayed stable for a long time. But after that, something happened. Google started to cut the irrelevant sources of information. So it was said that if you are on a second page of Google, you are invisible. So Google did the same. So they cut all the pages with the results after 100 page. So they were invisible for Google at all. They were not providing the data from those pages. That's why the impression dropped almost to the zero. Same with clicks. But as you see in here, and I will put in here another one. So the clicks grown a little bit because the relevant keywords toward the business stayed on a high level because they were transactional. And company reaction to the critical situation happened in here in this December 25, where they started to work on SEO, to start working on GEO, to position throughout the LLMs, to become visible for the browsers and like all the Bing, Google, other browsers again. So they started working on the content there. They started working to optimize the content, etc. I know these are just the numbers and it can be blurry for you. That's why I prepared the real example of how LLMs works on your business. So I decided, because it's a winter holiday time period, so I decided to organize the trip to Trysil. Correct me if I'm wrong, if my pronunciation is not correct. So what I started with Googling most popular place to ski in Norway, and AI overview did all the job for me. But be very please focus a little bit, because you see that on the right side, you see the results of the websites that were included to summarize the AI overview. That's very important for your business. So the goal for us as a business owners is to be visible on the right side in here, because there is a chance that user will click on one of the 3 pages to check even more. It's very important to be visible and show your branding here. It's very important to also help user provide the correct information for that keyword. Okay, so I wanted to ski in Norway. Trysil is the destination that I want to go to, as it's offering the 69 slopes, family facilities. Excellent. So let's move forward. Then I decided, okay, I don't have skis where I can rent a skis in Trysil. So I did it in 2 ways. I first of all started to talk with chat, and then I will present you the AI overviews results in Google, but I will highlight the information that are important for you. So basically, I typed in what is the best place to rent skis in Trysil. I got the recommendation, but the goal is, okay, what ChatGPT is using to recommend me those elements, so I can create the content and optimize my website, so I will be visible in those results. So first of all, what I've done, I clicked on the right side in ChatGPT. I believe if you are using that, you also familiar with that element. Do not worry about that. Just click it and see what's the best, check the queries behind the answer. What's best place to ski, to rent skis in Trysil, blah, blah, blah. This is the Polish one. I don't know why. Maybe I'm located in Poland. That's why ChatGPT also used this term for the recommendation. And then ski rental, Trysil, best ski hire, Trysil. Okay. So first of all, this gives us a hint. Okay, I need to use those keywords in my blog post services main website to become visible in here, because if I'm going to provide answer to that questions, chat will hopefully provide my website as a source of truth. Another source of truth is at the bottom, so you will see all the sources of the citations from all the pages on the right side. So those pages were used to provide that information on the left side by ChatGPT. And the third source is, of course, the recommendation by Google My Business pages with all the reviews. So you will see you see in here all the stars with the numbers. These are the reviews of those pages. So ChatGPT started to crawl those pages again. This was the ChatGPT citation, and I prepared for you also the chart how ChatGPT takes those citations by the website category. Your website contains couple categories of pages. It's a blog post, which is the informational part of the business. We got about us page, where we are talking about the opening hours. We are talking about ourselves, about heritage, who is working for us, how many staff do we have, and so on and so forth. And we got the service pages. In your case, it's going to be the service pages related to the rentals. It can be ski rental, trailer rental, it can be construction rental whatsoever. And those pages are very important to populate within the LLMs, plus to focus on SEO on those pages. Then I did the same story, as I said to you, in Google, and Google provided me two information. Like, first of all, I clicked overall all the results, and I got obviously mostly the SEO search results. And on the right side, we got AI mode, and I checked if the sources of the website are correlated with ChatGPT. Mostly they were. But you please pay attention to the details, because I will also talk about them later on. You see, AI mode highlighted the price, exact price, location, and also elements within the locations, the offers, opening hours, and so on. So those elements on your website are very, very important to cover. Is it true what I'm saying? Mostly yes. So in your case, I believe it's not applicable because because it is said that ChatGPT hallucinate, ChatGPT or LLMs are hallucinating. That's true, and in a lot of cases that's true. It is said that it's from 40 up to 60%. The queries got wrong answers. Yes, but does it matter for user? To be honest, user doesn't want to think too much when they are Googling something. So, as a business owner, your goal is to become visible for AI. It doesn't matter if it provides correct information or wrong. I mean, sometimes it can. I mean, it is very important to be visible. The quality goes later, because on your page it should be correct. Google LLMs can provide the wrong information, but you don't have any impact on that. So you cannot do much about that. Okay, so is it worth implementing AI strategy? As you see right now, it is, because it provides, like, a lot of sources provide a lot of traffic to your website that converts later on. But when it comes to preparation for AI era, it is ultra random right now, and nowadays no one is talking about the technical part of LLMs and how to be visible for LLMs, and I think it's crucial in the beginning. Because even though you are start preparation, the content strategy, all the tactics, tricks, and so on, your website can even have an access to the site content. What does this mean? It means that even though you will prepare a lot of content that's going to be great, the crawlers can be blocked and cannot read your website. That's why we'll go to the tactics, and we'll start from the beginning. So first of all, what you need to do to start positioning within LLMs is to open your website to AI. What does this mean? So when you are starting your website, the first point on the SEO part should be to create the robot.txt file, which contains the instruction for the crawlers, the Google crawlers, LLM crawlers, to allow the crawlers to crawl the website. So basically, what does this mean? So Google goes to your website and start reading the text on your website, and if you allow the crawler to crawl it, then it's going to crawl it. If not, then it won't be visible for Google, it won't be visible for other browsers, and it won't be visible for LLMs. So the first stage is to open it for the robot.txt. Nice to have is another file. It is called llms.txt that shows the purpose of the website, preferred sites to be crawled, and also the topics that are mentioned on your website, plus the languages. That speed up the whole process to crawl the website, and also be to get an understanding of what you are writing about on your website. Another tactic is, if you are running the YouTube channel, that's very important to turn on the subtitles, and also open the channel for all third-party companies. That means that all third-party companies can use and train AI models on your content. You've seen, I told you to focus a little bit on the sources that I told you about. The one of the source that were shown was YouTube, and this is what the company does. They did the they opened the YouTube towards the AI models, and the AI model started to read what they said and also prepared an answer based on that. Another tactic is to build readable content structure for AI. What does this mean? So basically, we are talking with our daily language without a problem. We used to use our language, but for AI, it's not understandable as we understand it correctly. So AI use different kind of language, which is called markup language. This means that we need to define the topics of the content that we are creating, the subtopics and sub-subtopics, that covering the whole content cluster or whole content topic that we are writing about. Plus, we are highlighting what's important, what's less important in the content. AI likes also long, complete guides and thinking about the content topic clusters to cover everything. So on one page, it's nice to have prices, equipment, booking, what's the insurance, writing a little bit more about the process of the rental, etc. Why? Because, as I said about the crawlers, there is something which is called the crawling cost. It is the cost of crawling your website. That's why Google likes to provide the content of quality content more than the AI generic content. That's why you need to provide within one page all the content that's necessary to understand what you are providing, because the cost of that is lower. You can compare that to, you got very not precise elements of the rental, I don't know, skis, for example, and you are saying that you can rent atomic skis for 1,000 crowns, and that's it. And for crawler, it's hesitation because it needs to crawl also the contact page, about us page, the insurance page, and so on and so forth. If you have it on one page, it's very easy to provide your information on the top than the others, because it costs less. Good. I also mentioned in here to show the real expertise and the local context. Why? Because you've seen that on the example that we checked the prices. We shown also the location where it is located and how long it was to start skiing from the rental place. And it's very important because that brings a lot of answers to potential questions for LLMs, and it's very probable that LLMs will choose your website instead of competition. Also, it is worth to include the photos, videos, staff insights, also write about the authors who wrote it, because nowadays in a time where AI content is created everywhere, experts will be highlighted in all the places. So building that expertise profiles, it's very important. So the author section answered that question as well. Then this is also the example from the beginning of the presentation. You see the top 10 best ski resorts in Norway. So it covers the top of the funnel of your business funnel, and also it creates a lot of buzz around your business. So it's very important to also create such content for those who are looking for opportunity to spend some time to ski in Norway. This content can include the tables, step-by-step guides, top 10 something. It should contain your own research in that. So it should contain the prices, comparison, checklists, and so on and so forth. So more human, less SEO, less AI. AI can write that, but you have to spend a lot of time to create such text. And you will be glorified at the end by being cited by LLMs and also AI overviews. I know it was a lot that I said about how to write the content, what content should be written, and it's too much for our webinar. So for you, I created the optimal content structure based on recent OpenAI leak insights. So please do not hesitate to take your phones, scan QR code. After the webinar, you can reach out to me. I can also send you the link to that file. So please do not hesitate to just scan the code, go to the Google Docs. Here you will find the content that I created for you, so you can easily optimize your websites and also create the content that's AI friendly. Then couple next tactics that are very useful. So if you are using ChatGPT, please go to the settings, data control, and within data control, you can improve your model. So it can read your chats. It won't use it for spying the business or something like that. It will use just to improve the data language models and also understanding your business. And you can use the prompts to summarize the pages that you created in time. So if you created 10 new skis that needs to be rented, you can summarize them or tell ChatGPT to crawl that website to be visible for further citations. And two more tactics. First, as I said in the beginning, ChatGPT started to use Google Business Profile to provide the information about the reputation of the reviews of the places, also opening hours, places, the location places, services provided. So that's very important to cover. YouTube transcripts, I told that in the beginning. Then be visible on the local blog forums, Reddit, and also industry portals and sponsored articles. That if you got the local newspaper, please be listed in there. Please be very active and cooperate with them. Tell what are the news in your shop or rental place. If you are opening the new location, do not hesitate to reach out to the journalists, write about that. So you need to be very, very active. And the last tactic is to keep your content up to date. If the content is old, Google won't like to provide the information about your content instead of the new one. To conclude everything, I know it's a lot, but please take that presentation, start point by point. If you need any help with creating the strategy or you're stuck with something, please reach out to me. I will definitely would like to help build your business even more. If you have any questions, also reach out to me. Please do not be overwhelmed with all the content that's created right now. It's not the skyrocket. That's the first thing. Positioning within LLMs. Also focus on just one thing at once and then start implementing everything. So thank you very much. Contact you'll find on the last slide of my slides. So do not hesitate to reach out to me, and good luck.
Super. Thank you, Michal. We will, to all you attending, we will distribute the recording and the material afterwards, so don't worry about that. Great to see, and you're very practical and good tips, and also you started by presenting the shift you saw in Google Analytics when AI was introduced, and also you saw, like, we experienced this in Sharefox as well, that we had a lot of impressions and similar lot of clicks, but when everything was presented in the Google search engine, you got the answer then, so you didn't have to click, and that's why we have to work on this. And very practical on how to look in GPT and see what keywords and sources are used and so on. So this is an area we work a lot on Sharefox, in Sharefox as well. And by that, I will pass the ball to my colleague Sonya, and we are more than on a topic of more when you work in a rental business and how you could use AI in your daily operations. So take it away, Sonya.
Thank you, Fred. And just to summarize what Michal was saying as well, I really recommend grabbing his documentation because, like Fred said, we've implemented these changes and we are visible on ChatGPT, as in Sharefox. A lot of our competitors are not. And we have a lot of customers today who found us on ChatGPT. So it's definitely worth a look. I will talk about how AI can help your rental business. I work closely with rental companies pretty much every day, helping them with everything from sales, business development, and also how to use the implemented system, Sharefox, effectively on a daily basis, but also on a growth scale. And I use a lot of AI daily myself, helping our customers on their AI journey, but also in a lot of parts of my own work. So I've really effectivized or automated a lot of the way I work. I use it in a lot of different ways that I'll jump into. So it's not really theory, it's what I really see working for rental businesses. So that's why we came together to make this webinar as well, just to pull all of our experiences from different perspectives. And I want to talk about how it can help you right now. So not like Michal showed this great meme of like, is this a future endeavor or is this future tech in 5 years? No, this is available now. People are using it. It's really good to get ahead of the curve and really start using it to effectivize what you're already doing. This applies to all kind of things. It doesn't really matter what you rent. If you have also services attached to that, if you're also selling things attached to that, you can really use these tactics for everything. And the most important thing I want to make very clear from the start is you don't need to be developers, data scientists, or you don't need big budgets to use AI. I know it can seem overwhelming, but when you get into it, to a lot of the daily repetitive tasks or even SEO optimization that Michal was in on, most of what we're talking about is work you're already doing, but faster, more consistently, and a lot less manual effort. So that's kind of the focus on this. And it's not going to replace your experience or your customer relationship. It's going to support them because, of course, Sharefox is an automated booking system, but the customers want to feel taken care of and they want to feel, you know, like there's a person at the other end of it. So that's also where it comes in. Can I have the next slide, please? And thank you for sharing slides. When we look at where AI actually creates value for rental companies, it usually comes down to 4 areas. So the first obvious one is text and content. And I'm sure a lot of you are using this already privately. Help me draft an email, like Michal was showing, I want to book a trip, or, you know, just different kind of text-based aspects of your lives. So this is where a lot of people use this in businesses. The second one is images and visuals. So this is super powerful, and I think a lot more people are getting into it now. So there's a really good tool there to really take your visuals, which is what captures the customer, and really take it up another level without using expensive designer bureaus and things like that. The third area, which I also use a lot, is ideas and planning. AI is a really good, companion when it comes to generating campaign ideas, pricing ideas, upsells, ways to package services, competitive. When you analyze your competition, for example, you can use it in a lot of good ways there when you especially form your business in the early days, but also when you want to improve on your existing rental business. And the fourth area is the customer communication. So helping staff respond faster, more clearly, and more consistently. And I know a lot of you guys are companies, you have a lot of staff, and a lot of you guys are one-man bands. So you're doing it by yourselves. So this is super powerful to you guys as well. And the key thing to understand is that none of this is new work. So you're already doing things that a lot of other rental companies are doing, and especially the smart ones that are smaller, but also big rental companies are using this as a strategy. So they also have staff focusing solely on this. So it's really good to get on top of that. Next slide, please. This is where I think most rental companies see the value almost immediately, especially when you're using Sharefox. So it can help you create website texts, product pages, rental descriptions for vehicles, tools, containers, anything you're renting out, FAQs about everything, you know, delivery, your terms and conditions, insurance, deposits, damage. like this is where I help my customers a lot with prompts and, you know, like just how can we summarize this, and not just write a prompt, but also write a prompt for someone who's on holiday, or like who is the customer you're targeting, because you're all targeting different customers. So being really clever in this can really help you automate so much work, which can take a lot of time. And also you're not really, when you're free scripting these things, you're kind of just going off what makes sense to you, and you're so in your own business that it can be really good to get AI to look at it from a customer's perspective, because they might want other kind of information. And sometimes you might also need to sell them the item. It might not just be that they come in and they want it. You might need to like give them that extra push. So a very typical example of that would be asking AI, like, write a professional description for a 3.5-ton van, short, clear, and customer friendly. Something I did recently with the customers, we focused on usage of cars, as in like, you know, when can you use this car? Is this a big car? Is this a family car? Is this for a romantic getaway? I mean, just being creative and thinking about the customer journey and who's booking. And instead of spending, this is kind of what I calculated, but at least half an hour just sitting thinking, you know, you're doing the manual research, you can get this done in like 2 minutes. And of course, you need to look through. Michal talked about the hallucination part of things as well. So it's also good to just check things. When it comes to text and things like this, it's usually pretty spot on, but of course, double check everything and also insert your data that is real, so that it is actually going out from your business. The same applies to visuals, so it can help you create website headers, campaign images, simple explainer graphics. This is where you can really take it up a notch, where you can really make the customer feel like, okay, I'm not renting from a one person that has another job. This is a side hustle, which a lot of my customers are. So this is to show them that really professional front, make Sharefox work for you while you're doing other things. And one important rule I want to say, because we can use Sora, for example, for videos or for images, but use real photos for your actual products. And you can place them in different ways, but use the real product and make sure you're double checking so that the customer is not going to be disappointed with what they receive, basically. And then, you know, you can keep trust and things like that as well. Next. Or are you on next? No, ideas and
Yes.
planning is my next. Okay, so it's also a really good planning and idea tool, as I talked a little bit about. You can use it to generate campaign ideas for seasonal rentals or slow periods, pricing, package ideas, upsell ideas like insurance, accessories, or delivery. I know a lot of our customers actually make a lot of money on this. So it's also, you don't want to leave that money on the table because you haven't thought of it. And also sometimes it's great to see, what are my competitors doing and how can I do it better? And, you know, can you do some research for me online? You can even ask it to plan an entire email or webinar campaign. So you can say, give me 10 upsell ideas for a tool rental company. And even if you're only using 2 or 3 of these ideas, and a lot of it's like, oh, I can't use this, you've already saved a lot of thinking time. And I think if you're really like scaling your business, as you know, time is absolutely money. So just like when you're, especially when you're on your own or you're a small business or a family business, just outsourcing a lot of these things. And then when it comes to customer communication, we can also help you with those things. So you can create reply templates for common questions, improve the tone so reply sounds clearer, more professional, and also translate content between languages. A lot of you are based in Nordics, but a lot of you also have tourists, or you have people that don't speak the language. So you might not speak that language. So you can really use that there for translation, so you can keep that native communication going. Even without a chatbot, this reduces a lot of stress for you guys and also improves ultimately the customer experience. Next, please. AI works best when it's combined with good systems, and that's where Sharefox comes in. So AI can help write product descriptions, but Sharefox is where those descriptions turn into real bookings. AI can draft emails, and Sharefox workflows can automate them when those emails are sent. AI can also create SEO text that bring your traffic to your website, and Sharefox converts that traffic into reservation, which is ultimately money and revenue. It can also help you create FAQs and help content, which reduces the number of support tickets over time. So this is also really good just with the work around. When you have a successful rental business, you also need to manage that in an effective way. So think of AI as the assistant that creates content and ideas. And Sharefox is the system that turns that work into operational results, basically. That's how I would put that. And I also want to say, Michal talked about all the different ones. I personally use ChatGPT for these kind of things. I use Sora for image creations. We also have, I mean, somebody put in the chat here, they wanted the presentation in Norwegian, for example. So I also use Gemini to translate PowerPoints like this. So you can use it in a lot of different ways and a lot of different tools. And before we wrap up, last slide, please, for me. I just want to say one thing very clearly. So everything you've seen today has been intentionally high level, not because this is complicated, but simply because I had limited time. So in reality, this becomes much more valuable when we look at your specific rental setup, your products, your customers, and your workflows. So if this is relevant, you're welcome to book a free 15-minute introduction call with me. Hopefully someone will post that in the chat, or I will do that after this. And then we'll go through this a bit deeper. We'll go through the practical AI prompts. How does this work in different scenarios? How can you train it to understand what you want? How can you adjust the tone? And how can you prompt the AI? And also one thing I didn't touch on here as well is that ChatGPT, if you have the paid version, it has a lot of different, as I call it, personalities that you probably know, where you can explore different ChatGPTs. So there's some really good ones there that you can use as well. So if there's nothing else, I will hand it back to you, Fred, and we can go through some questions. And thanks for sharing my link.
Thank you, Sonya. And I just shared a link to your calendar there, so they could book a small session. We'll open up for a small Q&A session, and then we wrap it up. Michal, you touched upon very practical tips, and one thing was also this .text file. Do you see that, like, what are the basics, like, for those not doing so much in this area today?
What do you mean by basics?
If you say, oh, I understand that this is important to my rental company, I'm not so familiar with this part. Where can I start? What should I do in the beginning?
I think the quickest way to win that first task or tactics that I shared with you is just to reach out to the support of Sharefox and just implement the text file with them, or double check if you did it in the beginning of the cooperation, or if you started a couple of years ago, it's worth to update the robot.txt file, adding the all LLMs in the robot.txt file. That's the first thing. If you got another website, it is worth to check with your developer or on your end if you implemented that. Also, it's very easy to check it, because if you type in your domain name, you can type in, for example, sharefox.co/robot.txt, and it should appear in there. Or you can also check in Google the robot.txt file checker and type in your website in there, and it will automatically check your website for if the file existing and what's in the file.
Super. And then to continue a bit, in Sharefox, and maybe a lot of our customers also been working a lot with before AI on content marketing. We produce content, we use keywords that Google should see and reach out to create traffic. You touched upon also the importance of updating content that is not getting old, because that's important in an AI context.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's very important, because Google likes to have only new content that's up to date. It's correlated with also the news and also to the change environment of the market. That's why, and also different sources of the information is taken into consideration to be visible on the first place as a first player.
Super.
We got the question.
Yeah, is it okay? Can you read it yourself, or should I read it and you answer?
Yeah, okay, you mentioned that we should optimize for AI search result by creating one page per main topic, but also to reduce scrolling cost by creating one long page with structured in content. Mm-hmm. Okay, so first of all, we need to differ the pages based on the tactics. One page is correlated with just informational content, like what is SEO, for example, and another one is the transactional, which is bike for rental in Oslo, for example. So the example of transactional page would be to provide the information about the price, what's included in the rental, all the details about the rental, insurance, FAQ. That's ideal on that transactional page, and providing all the information so user, by going into such website, can see all the details about what he's renting, what are the conditions of the rental, what's the insurance, and the checkout button for finalizing the transaction. When it comes to the informational content, I would say that that's supporting for the clusters. So if you are building the blog posts, that's very important to cover all the information in one page. So there was a trend in SEO even that back days it was the long guides for 20 pages, and then we splitted the long content into the short one. We splitted that into the sub content that's supporting into the internal links, and right now we are getting back to give an answer in one shot for each user, but also it's very important to give the internal links and also doing the markup text, which contains the title, H1, H2, H3, tables and everything, all the research together with the sources. After the webinar, if you reach out to me, I can also provide the example of the page, and I also get on a call and show also the good example of the structure of the page. We don't have much time in here, but for example, you got the author, but author is also supported by the expert in a field. You got the reading time, you got the summary of that, you got the table of content, and then you got the whole blog post. So those elements are also important to be covered.
Super. So you got a new question here on using blogs. Maybe it's partly the same as above.
Can you comment on using the blogs like in Sharefox? Will it still help the AI, or should you update them? So yes, absolutely. You need to write the blog post. It's very important, and having the content strategy for the website is crucial to be visible within LLMs and also the SEO. Why? Because you need to create a lot of content to cover a lot of topics that are related to your business, so Google can understand your page. You can also use AI to update them, but you cannot provide information just like that from ChatGPT because it's hallucinating. Later on, you can be penalized. So you need to pay attention to what you are sharing. Ideally, you can be supported by ChatGPT, but you need to do your own research and also your own expertise to provide such information.
Super. Any further questions? $120 seconds left, so that's good. That's good on timing. Maybe I'll end it up. Also, in the introduction, I talked about how we use Sharefox in different, how we use AI in Sharefox in different areas. And one thing is support. We spent a lot. We do spend still a lot of time on doing help articles and video tutorials, but we're also testing our own AI chatbot. So the so-called Helpfox you should test out afterwards. We are transparent at this early stage, and both of you talked about hallucination, and we see that it's not totally accurate, but it's getting better and better. So those of you using Sharefox in daily operations and need some help, please test out our Helpfox. Good. By that, I think we should wrap it up. Thank you for attending. We will keep on doing monthly webinars with different topics. We will share the recording and material, and you're also free to reach out those participating today and to us. Super. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. It was a pleasure.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.